Good morning. I'm Dick Williams, the chairman of the Education and Affiliated Committee for the Lansing Association of Realtors. And today I have with me Jody Patrick, who owns a real estate school and specializes in self-directed real estate IRAs. And Mr. Patrick is going to be with us on February 16th to do a session at 9 o'clock, 9 to 11 o'clock that morning, and possibly the time will be extended a little bit so he can get into some of the direct experiences that he's had in his own ownership. Mr. Patrick, welcome.
Thank you, sir.
And what actually is a real estate IRA?
Well, IRAs have been around since 1974, and IRA, people who have individual retirement accounts have the ability to own various assets. Most people own mutual funds or bonds or stocks. What we specialize in is dealing with people who choose to own a different investment, and usually that's real estate, investment real estate, or mortgages or notes or interest in private companies. But given the state of affairs with bank-owned properties and the bargains that are out there, I would say the majority of our clients are picking up these bank-owned properties, and that's the asset that their retirement account owns.
Do these properties have to be cash, or can they be leveraged with a mortgage?
Actually, they can be leveraged in a mortgage, but I would say 95% of our clients do not do that, and the reason is twofold. An IRA can borrow money to buy a property, but if it does, it has to file a tax return, which otherwise it would not have to. And there's something called unrelated debt financed income tax that comes into play. And what that requires is the possibility that the IRA would actually have to pay taxes annually if the property was profitable enough. And it's a hassle for the IRA to have to file. It's called a 990T. It's just a tax return for a nonprofit. So the answer is yes. Most clients don't. In the alternate, what a lot of people do is they'll combine their IRA with, say, their spouse's IRA to get enough money to own the property outright.
Why should a realtor get involved with this kind of IRA?
Realtors should understand it for two reasons, in my opinion. Number one, if they choose to own real estate for their own retirement account, obviously they're going to have to be familiar with the rules and regulations. But I think more so, realtors have clients who are investors, and the investors often don't understand that they have capital available to them to buy, say, these bank-owned properties, because they're not familiar with the fact that they could use their IRA to purchase them. And many of our clients have multiple properties, and a lot of us believe that now is a really, really great time to pick these properties up.
Now, I understand that your local company, you're able to do all the record keeping on this and manage these things to a degree in which one does not require a financial institution or a bank. Is that right?
Yes, what we are is really a glorified record-keeping service. Under the Internal Revenue and Treasury rules, IRAs can be administered by either banks, savings and loans, or other approved entities. And those include typically securities firms like Merrill Lynch or Prudential, or some insurance companies, or trust companies. So actually what we do is we help people to set up an individual retirement account with a trust company that we have a relationship with, and then we're contractually obligated to do all the record keeping and deal processing. So typically somebody will decide they want to buy a bank-owned property, for example, and they will transfer whatever funds are necessary into the IRA we help them to set up. And then we do all of the internal processing, record keeping, reporting to the Internal Revenue Service, having the rents come into the IRA, having the real estate taxes and other expenses paid by the IRA. And we send required annual statements to the client. There's online access to the account, so you can see the income and expenses to and from it. And we handle all that record keeping, and for that we charge charge record-keeping fees.
Do you have any real estate properties in your own personal IRA?
I do. Between my Roth IRA and my 401k plan, I own 12 or 13 individual units, all in Lansing, almost all bank-owned. And I'm acquiring 8 more units with my Roth IRA currently, a small apartment building, which I hope to have closed by February 15th.
Wonderful. We're certainly looking forward to February 16th. I think this will be a lot of new information and will give realtors a lot of options for themselves personally, as well as all these investors that have money in the bank or in the stock market that may prefer to put it into something that they are more familiar with. After or before this session, we have a HUD session coming up, the Education Committee, on February 3rd. I want to make sure you try to make that, and we will be repeating the very successful session we just had with MISTA and with Rural Development, but we haven't set that date. I'm sure we'll be doing that sometime in the next 3 months. Hope to see everybody on February 16th.